Okay guys, welcome back to the channel as always, and thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. It is December 12th, I think, Sunday. On Thursday, I rode my bike to go do laundry. I rode it to go pick up something at the mail place. I was looking at my chain and I'm like, oh man, it is super dry. So I was like, let me take it easy. I took it easy on the way home, and then I totally just lapse of remembering because I'm an idiot and totally forgot to grease up my chain. But I had to use the bike to go get the laundry done. Heather was towing the trailer because my hub, if you remember, is, well, not the hub, the axle on my bike is messed up. I don't even have a washer on this side, but see how sunk in the axle is from this nut. So basically what I'm getting at is I need to get more axle on this side or put in another axle, which is what I'm going to do, but at the same time also leave more axle on this side so I can hook my trailer hitch up on this side. I had it hooked up on this side, but it ended up stripping the threads because it had, like, say, half the nut was getting used, so it wasn't enough to be proper clamping, and it was this whole big debacle while I was riding. So, crisis averted, whatever. She was towing just to make it easier, and I've been kind of slacking on doing this because if I go in here, I want to take everything apart, see how my stuff's holding up, cut see the bolts that are still sticking out, probably cut them off so they're flush. And I also wanted to go into the gear set and, you know, grease that up and everything. Basically just give the rear wheel a good once over. I haven't given the bike a true once over since I built it 2 months ago, maybe. And you know, I ride a lot of miles. I mean, I don't even know. I don't keep track, honestly, but it definitely slows down in the winter. Don't get me wrong, but it's got to be 3,000, maybe at least 3,000 miles I put on it. I mean, the day after I put this motor on, you guys saw I took it on a bike trip to go see my daughter. That was 2.5 hours one way. It was like a 5-hour round trip. That's a long hike for these little bikes, these little motors. So that was just one day, and that wasn't even all I rode that day. It was just that part, really. So there is a lot of wear and tear I put this through, especially the rear hub. I hit bumps a lot harder than normal. I've been doing a lot of stuff that's worse than normal to make sure it holds up. So I do got to take it apart and check it all out and go in there, re-grease everything, and just make sure everything's holding up well. Okay, and on the other day, like I was saying, when I was on my way to go do laundry, the chain broke on me. I don't even know if you could tell, but there is slight kink in the chain, and one of the links just pulled out. Luckily, I always carry master links with me, so I was able to just put a master link in, and it fit in perfectly after I bent the chain back as straight as I could do it in the pitch black because it was dark out. See here, I think it was this one this is the regular link that broke right here, but I was able to just put a master link in and make it home. So it is what it is, but you can see all the new scratching. See how the chain got really twisted up there. The chain, I was only doing like maybe 25, but the chain went over here, got messed up with this chain, so I gotta look over this. It got actually shoved into the chain in a derailleur over there. You can see here, see how this was bent all the way up against the sprocket and what have you. Here, oh, I didn't notice that, it was so dark I couldn't see, but yeah, look at the mess up here. You know, it did a lot of damage, mostly superficial, but still enough that it was a problem. Luckily, I was able to fix it and keep it moving, but it's something now I most certainly have to go in and double check, and no matter what, I gotta, at the bare minimum, take this chain off, clean it, look for weak links, broken links. I don't have any more new chains, so I do have to actually order some chains, but till then I'm gonna just risk it for the biscuit, take out any bent or broken links, and put in replacement links and what have you, and we should be okay for the most part, hopefully. Knock on muffler. Let's see if we can look at this chain. The tensioner does look twisted also. Binding right there. Here you can see a pretty big problem coming up. That's, yeah, right there, it's bad. You can see how messed up it is, how bent they are, so I'll have to replace probably from about here Probably to about there, and then there's gonna be more links over here bent. Alright, yeah, we're just gonna take the chain off and go over it really good. If one link broke, I'm sure there's many more that are broken, but like I already said, I don't have a new chain, so I'm gonna have to patch this one together and just order a chain. Okay guys, so I got the rear wheel off. Nothing eventful happening there, obviously, but I honestly can't remember if this was always bent like this. Now mind you, it was hooked up, it tracks straight, but like this is the other side. I thought they were uniform. Now it's scratched here, but that's just from like chain coming loose and hitting, and you know, when it breaks off and stuff. So I'm not worried about that. There's no interference when it's riding normal. I don't think I see any cracking, but the thing that makes me think here, see the paint that I put on it. Like, you see how the gap is in the paint, how there's rust showing? That shouldn't be if it wasn't bent. Like if it was bent when I painted it, it would still be like that. It would all be painted if it was like that when I painted it. You know what I'm saying? Like if this was bent in that manner, this whole thing would be white there. It wouldn't be bare rusty metal coming out. But that's just my opinion. But like they're just like, look, here's a seam right there. See that one right down there? Completely white all the way up to the seam. Slight cracking because it has bent, in my opinion. Let's see this side. This side, there's rust around the edge, but nothing dramatic, just normal, you know, where metal on metal would kind of rub and get rusty. Nothing dramatic like this. This is a good 1/16 of an inch out. I'm gonna bend it back, see if it's loose and wiggly. I'm probably creating a problem for myself, but we're gonna do it anyway. No more rust. To be honest, this needs a tack weld, which I obviously can't do. Okay guys, that's as best as I'm gonna get it with what I got to work with. Okay guys, so I took the wheel off, obviously, and I took the 5-speed. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's only a 5-speed, that's all I got. The grease is definitely dirty in there, but it still has a tint of green, so I'm happy about that, and it wasn't not enough grease, so I'm happy about that. I will clean it, re-grease it, so as far as that goes, we're really good. I have to take this off where it bent up and bend it back straight, and then I'm going to take the axle out. I did get another axle. I had it upstairs in my parts that is pretty much straight, and it is a little longer, which is exactly what I needed to have happen. So I'm very happy about that, as you could probably tell. And we'll see how it goes. So it's getting dark quick, so I kind of gotta be spunky and get this done. So if I miss recording something, I apologize, but I'll do my best. I don't have the proper wrench, the special wrench that you need to get this off, so I actually have to take this one off my channel locks, which does kind of suck, but we'll be fine. That's how I did it in the first place. So okay guys, so I took the axle out. You can see where the chain got into it real bad this last time. I mean, it's probably a couple other times too when it broke, but this time was pretty bad, honestly. Either way, not dry, nice and wet down there. So it definitely had grease in there good, but you could tell there's a lot of black in it, which means there was a lot of metal coming off of the bearings and the hub. Most likely because of the bend in the axle was causing a lot of excessive wear, but it is what it is. There is no play. There you can actually see where I just chipped it a little bit, where I just peeled it from this. So the epoxy is still in there, holding up great. All right guys, this is the other side. I got it off. You can see no movement at all, no cracking. It looks great. I mean, outside of the grease, I already cleaned the dirty grease out, but it looks perfect, guys. Like literally, it looks perfect. So I'm super happy with it. It doesn't move at all. There's no movement. This is solid. Man, this really gave me a really good feeling about this, to be honest with you. Okay, you can see it well. Looks good. 0 issues. Would I recommend other people to do this? Yes, I would actually. If you did it the same way I did it and took the care in making it work. But look at this. So now I only had to take this apart because my axle was bent. Now that's the only reason I took this apart. But that's also because of the way I ride. I ride hard. I'm also fat. It doesn't help. So if you weren't as fat as I am and you don't ride the way I ride at 40 miles an hour slamming into bumps, that won't really happen as easily. Now, mind you, I also did that on purpose because I was testing this new system out, because this has never been done before, of my own invention, we'll say. So I needed to make sure it was safe before I go recommending it to other people, or before I totally feel comfortable myself with doing it. So 100%, we now know it is solid if you do it the way I did it. I mean, you could see I had bent this side, I already bent it back once. I bent this side twice, I bent it back one time, but now it bent again. The axle actually stripped out here when I was carrying the trailer, rolling with the trailer. So 100%, the hub system that I came up with is super solid, worked well, not upset with that at all. Gonna put in a new axle that's a little longer so I can hook my trailer hitch back up. Man, I recommend it 100% to anybody that wants to do it, that has maybe these rims and doesn't like the stock stuff. Maybe you're a little heavier set like me, and you just need something a little more solid. Basic old school technology with new school mags worked out great. Very happy with it. I know a lot of people are out there asking about this. I had hundreds of questions about this and how it's doing and how it's reacting and all that. So I'm extremely happy with it so far. This winter will be a test though, because of the extreme cold and me riding, and depending on the heat that it gets to. But mind you, I also do normal maintenance. I don't know if it's normal maintenance. I do maintenance on my rear hubs, my front hubs, everything, because I don't want there to be an issue because of how heavy I am and how fast I ride. So there is a possibility that if you don't grease it, it'd be an issue. But as you can see, like you guys know, you see the green, I use Lucas, but you see here how black the grease is, and it was even starting to get dry on this side. So there was definitely a little bit of heat in there, but even more than that, it held up. So the grease was definitely breaking down and getting used up and wore out, but it still held up no matter what the heat and everything. So all in all, guys, I recommend it. If you do it the way I did it and the way I show you how to do it in my video, I think you're totally safe. So, all right, let me finish cleaning this up, get this back together, clean up that new axle that's gonna be going in. Here's the axle, guys, you can see. Look, it is a little bit longer. It's only, what, maybe 8 millimeters, 10 centimeter, I don't know, 5 millimeters, something. It's a little bit, half inch, quarter inch longer. It's only a little bit longer than the other one, but that little bit adds up. That's gonna grow. All right, bye. Guys, it is together and over greased, as you could probably see. It's super cold out. I gotta turn it up right side up. I gotta take it for a spin. I put a lot of new chain link in it. It's gonna be dark. I put a lot of new chain link in it. I didn't have a new chain, so I thought, until I dug through the bottom of my bag after I put it on and found a new chain. I'm not going back in, I already greased it. It is what it is. I put a whole bunch of new links in. I just took out all the bad links and went through it real close, but showed you all the footage, re-greased the back hub. Sorry it's so dark. I know that stinks, but I really wanted to show everybody how that looked after we got done with fixing it. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you could, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the little bell notification. Most of all, guys, leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of that, how it's holding up and stuff. I think that'd be really cool to know what you guys think of how it looks. I've been beating the snot out of it to prove its worth. Also, if you could, go to Johnny's Motorized Bikes on Facebook group. Join that, talk, post pictures, and all that stuff. I really enjoy listening to everybody else do stuff and see what everybody's up to. Down in the description, there's a link for Facebook and everything else. I'm too tired to really think right now. So, I'm hungry. I'm going inside. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later. Peace.